Darren here, and on today's episode of WotC Academy, we're going to look at how to play the new Tier 6 French Premium Medium tank, the M4A1 FL10. This tank can easily be considered and played the same as the Tier 7 British Medium, the Jackal, but obviously down tiered to Tier 6. So, let's take a look at how to play this. The armor on the M4A1 is pretty much standard for a Sherman hull and an AMX-13 turret. This means you aren't really going to bounce much, especially in higher tier games. But other than that, there's nothing very noteworthy about the armor profile. As you can see, you aren't really going to be blocking any shots, as your strongest part of your armor are the machine gun port there at the front, and the two tiny little cheeks. No one's really going to specifically aim at those parts. This also means that your armor profile makes you a very juicy snack for high caliber HE guns or artillery. Now, in terms of mobility, the M4A1 seems to be pretty speedy for a Sherman at Tier 6, at least compared to the other Tier 6 Shermans. With a forward speed of 48 kilometers per hour and a reverse speed of 20 kilometers per hour, you will have no trouble getting to where you need to go or reverse out of danger if need be, as well as keeping up with higher tier tanks. As for the vehicle's 16% chance of fire, I would strongly consider bringing a fire extinguisher with you, but of course you can bring what you want. Now, in terms of firepower, the M4A1 is manageable, with a pretty meh base accuracy of 0.4 that can be brought down, of course, a decent base reload time of 18 seconds for a 4-round clip, and a good base aim time of 2.02 seconds. With the right skills and setup, this gun will allow you to aim at and hit your targets with some level of consistency. As for the lackluster gun depression and 6 degrees and a horrible elevation of 12 degrees, you will have trouble fighting in and around ridgelines and hills. Now, how do you set up the M4A1? Well, in terms of consumables, I recommend running 36 AP, 36 APCR, and 0 HE because this is an autoloader. You don't have time to be risking HE rounds. I also run a repair kit, a first aid kit, and a fire extinguisher due to the fire chance, but you can run food or gas as well if you wish. For equipment, I run improved vents, advanced optics, and advanced gun lane drive to improve the gun handling overall, and because I saw nothing else actually worth using, because this is an autoloader, you are pretty limited in your equipment selection. Of course, you can use that third slot for whatever you deem worth using. Now, for the commander setup, I recommend running the Jack of all trades medium setup I mentioned in my commander video. But for the sake of this video, the recommended skills are the following, and in no particular order: Born Leader, Rapid Loading, Steady Aim, Sixth Sense, Track Mechanic, Situational Awareness, Snapshot, Run and Gun, and Marked Target. Of course, you can set up the commander to suit your preferences. So, how do you play the M4A1? Well, I have found that this tank is 100% a support tank. Going head-to-head is suicidal, and this vehicle, as it's lightly armored and an autoloader. I found the best method of play is to be a flanking element for the main force and to get around to the sides and rear of enemies where you are mostly ignored and attack your opponents from there. Your vehicle profile is large, and with a lack of gun depression, you will be exposing yourself a lot of the time if you have to crest a hill. So try and minimize that exposure as much as you can, because the less you are exposed, the less likely you are of becoming a tasty HP snack for a high caliber gun or anyone interested in farming you. Other than that, this vehicle is pretty much a Sherman with an autoloader. That does it for this overview. Now let's take a look at some gameplay. So here we are on El Alamein before they added stupid Tinder profile light filters to all the maps. It is absolutely nice being able to see actually a blue sky and white clouds again, as well as more natural looking environment. But beside the point here, we are on the northwestern side of the map, and basically what you're going to see here is exactly how to play this vehicle. It's pretty much going to be a very drawn out game. Not much to really talk about here at the beginning, but I do have a trend where I tend to kind of go around to the middle, provide some form of spotting. I am mid-tier this game, as we can pick up from the Grizzly that we just passed by. There are also some tier 7s in the mix as well, and being a tier 6, this basically means I'm mid-tier. Now, initially, because when I played this, there was still this weird meta of majority of the a nice even split of the majority of the force going beach, the other majority of the force going to the southwestern side of the map. But it didn't really seem to be the case with this. In midstream, I was like, I'm not going this way because no one else is, and I'm going to go to my normal middle fighting ground here, and that's going to be that little sand pivot here that you're going to, not pivot, ridge that you're going to see me kind of just sit around for a little bit. Other than that, again, yeah, it's absolutely nice being able to look and see a blue sky and not have orange safety goggles all in my face. So, yeah, the reload's pretty nice, at least for me to encounter this. I noticed the reload was pretty nice. It didn't seem overly long. Here we have a light tank just straight suiciding into the middle here, just YOLO scouting. He is going to get taken out, and I'm not going to bother providing chase because, I mean, I'm far enough away. There's enough tanks over there. And I'm kind of feeling like, okay, well, now they have an idea of where most of our tanks or partial part of our tanks are. I'm going to go into the middle and try and do a counter spot. Artie, as you can see, Artie, for them, as you can see, is already doing work. I do manage to spot some tanks, and I'm going to punish this poor M6 who is just, out in the open. I killed a rock in the process. Wasn't my intention. And, of course, here, for some reason, we're going to make a nice, easy target for me. Unfortunately, one of those 4 rounds had to bounce off his armor. So, now I'm stuck. But again, like I said, you could see here, the reload really is not that bad. I'm able to actually reload and take care of him before he disappears. So, and coupled with the gun lane drive, my aim time is much faster. I can I can aim much quicker being stationary there and get a follow-up shot with on target with relative reliability. Now, I circled back because I wanted to get into a little bit of a safer position, and I didn't want to cross this open ground that you're about to see me cross from where I previously was. That would have been a lot more open ground I would have had to cover, and there is a greater chance of me being spotted and taken out, and I just didn't really want to take that chance. So I'm going to move up over to this ridge, and I'm going to try and provide, again, some flanking support for my team. I'm going to take care of that Sherman there. There's one down, and we're about to have this, I think it's a bulwark. I don't know. I don't know low-tier mercenary tanks. I don't really care for them. I am able to bounce some of these shots, but again, as you can see, it was a very rare occurrence because I was already backing down the slope, so my armor was even more angled. Apologies there. I am kind of recovering a little bit from being sick. So, just going to pop up after reloading again, and I'm going to pretty much empty 3 of 4 shots into him, and I'm just going to kind of sit here, get unspotted, and see if I can pop up again and take care of this tank. I do have 1 shot left, be aware of that. At some point, I also did load premium rounds. It probably was to take care of the bulwark, and now I've decided to trigger the reload, and I'm going to get out of the way, go to cover, try and get unspotted, and then take care of that tank that was spotted right there in the middle of the map. He disappeared. I'm unspotted. I'm actually going to go and pursue him now. And we're about to see here that a Sherman Jumbo is about to be right there in the open going parallel with me. Um, I tried to get some much better shots on the move, much more aim shots compared to what he's doing. Didn't work out so well. Well, much better than he did, but it still bounced. And I immediately dove down in there. He did a short stop, which worked out well for him. That wasted my second shot. That only meant I had 2 shots able to put in. The premium rounds, thankfully, I had them still loaded, so they were able to go through the front of his tank. And at this point, it's like, I'm reloading. I need to get the hell out of Dodge. That tends to be the trend with an autoloader. Thankfully, I also went unspotted, as I would have just been eaten up had I been remained spotted by the tanks hiding there in the back. So I'm trying to put as much cover between me and the tanks behind me while I reload. I've got 4 shots left. I do want to try and find a way to bait them into thinking I'm going a different direction. So that's why you see at the moment that the light bulb goes off, I do double back around to see if I can get the rear ends of some of these tanks. I'm going to profile myself on the ridge here, and I'm just trying to find a target that I can quickly dispatch here, and that's going to be this T-34. I just literally 3 out of 4 shots, take care of them. Final shot goes into the Panzer IV, take care of 2 tanks with 1 clip, and now I'm reloading. I'm letting my team know I'm reloading, and I'm getting the hell out of there again in order to safely reload. We are losing by 1 tank here. At this point, it's kind of like I'm still have a good amount of health. I don't know the health status of my team. I'm pretty much at the mentality at this point that I may have to get the backpack on and carry the rest of the team. But kudos still to my team. They're able to keep up the fight. They're not just folding. So I double back now that I've reloaded just to see if there's any other tanks spotted. I am going to have to be the scouting element for my team because the rest of the team is TDs and an artillery piece. So I am going to have to play the scouting game at this point here. So I do want to try and see if I can come up on the enemy from a different location than where they last saw me. So that's why you see me crossing, going all the way over here. I would like to mention what you are witnessing right now is actually kind of very dangerous to just be crossing the open like this. A smarter move probably would have been to waste a little bit more time and come around farther around back, go farther west and come around back. But luckily it paid off for me as I managed to spot this T-14, and I just emptied a clip into him, taking care of him. That's 1 tank down. It's now 4v3. We have now managed to turn the tide, and we are winning again. Artillery gets spotted behind me. I do like, oh god, he might be aiming at me, but he is not. He seems preoccupied. So I just take care of him really quickly. The Nashorn's over there. I'm like, okay, don't want to profile myself. I do see that there is this VK over here. I was caught in the middle reloading. I am letting him know I am reloading because, he's probably over there just cussing me out, saying, why aren't you helping me? And I do manage to take care of him. Unfortunately, during this point, one of our tanks was taken out, and I do believe that was the artillery piece. But the VK was taken out. All that leaves now is the Nashorn. And I don't have gun depression. I also don't have armor to fight on a ridge. So I decided to go, instead of profiling myself on the ridge, making an easy shot for him, I decided to go this way. It did work out a little bit as the Nashorn was looking a different direction, and it makes it easier for me to get some shots on there. Was trying to see if I could bait a shot by doing a little bit of some weird side scrapey, not really side scrapey stuff, but now it's just kind of this game of who's going to make the first move. Nashorn's deciding to just back off the ridge here. So I'm going to just wait and see if he is going to pop up again. And at this point, I'm just deciding I'm going to go towards him. I can take 2 shots. I have 4 shots at my disposal. He'll only have 1, and as fast as he can reload. And I'm just going to go at him. I can take 2 shots from him. That should be more than enough for me to go and actually take care of him. So at this point, again, it's just rushing here. So I'm just going to roll up. He fired 1 at me. At this point, there's nothing really to worry about. I just empty what shots I needed into him and secure the victory for the game. As you can see, that was a very, very nice game with over 3k damage done and 9 kills. I would say that this was definitely a very, very good game in this tank. Other than that, that does it for today's video. I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to subscribe. But until next time, this has been Darren of WotC Academy.